you mentioned everybody in Canto 4, for example, you have Hegel, Kierkegaard, Barth, Levinas, Arendt, and then a person I worked on is Hans Urs von Balthasar.
Oh yes.
I just jumped for joy.
Yes, the Saturday people.
The Saturday,
Yes,
the
yes.
Holy Saturday. But also the who he worked on. He was a great debt to Maximus Confessor, whose theology of perichoresis is very, very important. I think there's just the dance, the divine dance.
Yes, it's a wonderful concept, and it runs, as you said, right through the five quintets. Yeah. Because when you think about it, I'll read the epigraph when we come to the end of our interview, because it prefigures, it adumbrates the message, if you like, or the vision, I prefer to call it, or the angle of vision in each of the quintets. Von Balthasar, or Balthasar, as I should say, he was an extraordinary figure for me too, and also his relationship with this, was it Speyer? What's the name of the lady?
Adrienne von Speyer.
Absolutely extraordinary, that inspiration. And I mean, there was nothing untoward about it. Barth, on the other hand, lived with his mistress and his secretary and his wife in the one house. So, I mean, it begs all sorts of questions. One of the greatest theologians of the last century, But it is very interesting that but women were the muses in some ways for both of these extraordinary and almost parallel figures in a way. Balthasar being the Catholic one.
They were close friends, Barth and Balthasar.
That's right.
Balthasar respected Barth quite deeply.
Yes.
I think he called him a better theologian half the time.
Yeah, and wasn't Barth asked to the Vatican as well? He was the first to be asked to the Vatican. No, they're an extraordinary pairing.
Yeah, it's quite a time too. There's robust public theology in those days, and I don't know if we have that today so much, and for a lot of reasons. But do you think of yourself as a Catholic poet? How does that? Yeah.
The answer, I think, to that is no. Yeah. I see myself as a poet who is a Catholic. Yeah. That is to say, I'm a Catholic. I do my best. I am somewhat a la carte, but that's my tradition. That's, as the Buddha said, grow where you're planted, and so I do my best to grow where I'm planted. For all my differences about certain things and so forth, I do my best to do it, and that obviously informs my work.
Yeah, I think of Flannery O'Connor there, who said very similar things about being a writer. You wouldn't, how would, it's almost a way you understand being, right? And a way you understand art. The art is the thing, the vision is the thing. And the vision is true to any type of theology. It's almost a silent reality,
Well, I mean, Patrick Kavanagh, who for me was the greatest poet, at his best, was the greatest Irish poet of the 20th century. He said any poet was a theologian.
Yes.
And after all, both, to my view, as I see poetry, both are seekers of meaning and beauty.
Yeah, I love that. I always love that about Patrick Kavanagh quite a lot. I think even scientists are theologians. A lot of them don't want to say they are, but I think that in many ways that they're
absolutely. It sometimes frightens me, the number, not all by any means, but the number of scientists who don't see the poetry and don't see the theology in what they're doing. Their vision is too narrow.
Yeah.
I hope, from what I've done in the five quintets in this section called Finding about science, I have interspersed between all the wonders as they are being discovered. I've interspersed quotations from the Psalms and from the Quran.